Tendrils of Intrigue. Mama. Mama. Hello? Captain Ilbert, your report, if you will. Hi, Commander. Firstly, with regard of the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us not that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to Ishgardian's authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment's routes. Go on. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ. From him we were able to trace the trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to this master. At last the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspects of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame station at Revenant Stall. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that the deeds did not go unfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that includes those originated from House Fortune. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and this in his soul that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed, knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, this is one of the mysteries solved, at least, but why? But what of all the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing of his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider then that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say the agent is amongst Raban's innermost circle, someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames establishment? This is the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork from the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked, and remain above suspicion all these years. I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the 3 grand companies, Yildiz was ever more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa and Gridania had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Wind Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership, only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Ulda's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own payments. Hardly an ideal environment to which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Ralban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that means recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than now, aye. The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflict of interest, the public and the private. Though the monitors ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that they did so, but simple self-preservation. Had Nialvan and Darna's ambition had been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Ralban with an army. It is but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Return to the present. Even as we speak, our Daemon allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees are eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, the second attend to the unharassed, and the third can join the fourth in inspecting the crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Saint Emeric informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to each Guardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Ryusei. As the realm's stoutest champion, it is only Meteor to be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. I don't need her consent, man. I can go wherever I want. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Minfield and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route until such time as they succeed. I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me at Nafika's altar and we shall make our way to Lotus 10 together. I've grown accustomed with.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
Alright.
The rumors are true then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
Yeah. Who that bitch be?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Oh my god, you spit on his... What?
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
I can see the spit. Ugh. You... Disgusting. Disgusting, man.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader. Not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Doesn't seem so young.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. but you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new Emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartano dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Who was that? Who was that Maelstrom guy? Why he was here with the Admiral? Shouldn't it be that vice captain there that was a pirate? I mean, all of them were a pirate, but like Robun's assistant, I understand, but who is this Maelstrom guy?
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it.
Yeah.
If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
Hell yeah. You're right about that. Oh. I will not have escaped your notice that the nation of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestation of the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to steer them. And the reason for this, deep-rooted mistrust amongst the citizenry. The nation's leader can come out to understand they like, but their unity means little and less to the common folk. Take the Lominsons for instance. Though Admiral Merrib outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a heaven for grog-swilling wooden-legged cutthroats. And likewise, Gridonians are mocked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Uldan scorn as swindlers who worship coin. Not that sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillars of Uldan society, take that pillar of Uldan society, Telesia Deleji, for example. But that is besides the point. The fact is that the people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, we could argue that the conflict at Cartano is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough of idle musing, let us speak of more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke at the observatorium, Captain Ilbert has further shortened the list of suspects, and by a happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate is likely come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, we'll say. All that remains is to corner our query, seek out Ilbert near the other's nest. We'll give you the particulars. Should there be any development in Cortez, you may be sure that I'll be sent word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success apprehending the Ivy. Alright, I'm gonna finally find out who it is. Alright. Where? Here? In here. Ojo-sama. Ojo-sama. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we haven't mastered Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Okay, we actually have unmasked it. So, I guess it's time.